So I went to bed probably around 8, I guess. You sent that message about 7:30. Right before I passed out, I reached over and I was like, I should probably check my phone. I looked at the phone and I saw where you sent a link, but I didn't read what it was. And then it said leaving this for obligatory, blankety blankety blank, whatever you said. Mm-hmm. And then I fell asleep. And I wake up Friday morning. Ben Affleck is Batman. I apologize. It is because I went to sleep. It's my fault. Take responsibility for this.
And all night, all I read was people's Facebook statuses already on it.
Very much. Ross woke up hoping it was the ending to Super Mario Brothers 2, where it was all a dream. Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Ultra Mega Death Ray Roundtable. I'm Dave, along with my buddies Ross.
What's up?
And Quan.
What's up, everybody?
And we got a whole bunch of topics to start off with the obvious big one is with Bradley Cooper is going to play as Rocket Raccoon in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Who freaking knew? Are you guys excited? Get hyped!
Of course!
Akid, of course, Ben Affleck, or Batfleck, as a lot of people are coining him now, is apparently going to play as Batman in the Man of Steel sequel with Batman and Superman in it. So, obviously the internet kind of exploded over this news. It was all over Twitter. There was even the trending topic, or the trending hashtag, whatever you want to call it, on Twitter. Better Batman than Ben Affleck, which I personally had a lot of fun with. I'll place the pictures above that I put down. But what do you guys think about this news? Do you think Ben Affleck can pull off playing as Batman?
All right, I'm going to start off by saying something that I've already said publicly. I'm calling for the ledger rule on Ben Affleck. Now, normally I would probably be the one most upset about this. Usually I would be the one flying off the handle about it. But I think in this instance, in this case, until we see something concrete, I cannot judge one way or the other because of the ledger rule. I didn't think Heath Ledger was going to be a great choice at all. I railed against it. I was like, this isn't going to work. I was very wrong. So I'm willing to at least give it a chance because maybe somebody knows something we don't.
Yeah. And he's actually already in good standing with WB. Not to mention, since he's already proven to be a good director and actor in front of the camera and behind it. Argo was a good movie. The Town. He's already shown that he has an ability to take on, both roles. So he's not a bad choice for Batman, but honestly, it's one of those I want to wait and see kind of deals now because it's I know he's good.
Well, and most of the main complaint is coming from Daredevil. And if you've seen the theatrical cut of Daredevil, then you've not seen Daredevil. You've not seen that movie. You have to watch the director's cut of that movie. I had watched it about 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought I remembered kind of that I was right. And then I watched it again yesterday, and it is exactly the way that movie, the director's cut, is not bad. It's not bad. It actually fleshes out the Matt Murdock character. You get to see a whole lot more of how the movie should have developed. There's promise there. Yeah. It's not all bad. Like I said before, the Bruce Wayne is the hard sell. Anybody can be Batman. So you've got to find somebody that can play that role well, and it may be possible. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, let's give it a moment. Let's see what happens.
And just like Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck has a lot of charm and wit about his character, so he definitely can play sort of the roles of Bruce Wayne, and at the same time he's actually been keeping in shape. So Affleck he's a pretty stout dude. So
here's the funny part. Affleck currently is 41.
Yes, making
him technically the oldest Batman to date, which is ironic because he supposedly has signed, one of the rumors that we saw, a 13 to 15 appearance deal. Now, I'm saying appearance deal because what if it's not just film? For instance, The Flash is going to be revealed in Arrow which is technically supposed to tie into this new DC universe, is what their plan is, from what we've heard.
Right.
So, what if Ben Affleck first makes his Batman appearance on Arrow?
That kind of thing leads to so many possibilities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many different ways that you can go with it that will be different or unique at this point that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And this is technically under wraps too. They haven't really been talking about this around. This is just sources saying. We don't have anything confirmed, but it is very interesting talk nonetheless.
It's very careful wording, like with that, like making 15 appearances as opposed to like film roles or whatever. But I don't know. I just don't see like him having like the studio break him out on Arrow necessarily. First off. Just simply because, like, he's just like such a big character. Like, I imagine they're going to first have him show in the Man of Steel sequel, and then maybe like later on, so as to try to tie in like the universes.
That's very possible as well. And I mean, not to mention, it would be nice, unlike the Marvel movies, it would be really nice if the DC movies, instead of having one main character per movie, have 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, Justice League, that's the big one. That's where you want everybody to show up. But what if we want to see a Green Lantern, Green Arrow?
Mm-hmm.
What if we want to see a World's Finest, for instance? What if we wanted to see Teen Titans, for instance? If you're including, some different, or equivalency, that sort of thing.
Because I'm sorry, there's something I definitely have to add to what you're saying. Some of the characters' personalities really shine with other characters, so putting them in a movie together is a gorgeous idea.
It's the only way you're going to be able to tell all these stories that you want to tell.
Definitely.
In a way that's better than the way it's already being done. Oh, yeah. I guess that's what I should say.
Most definitely.
You're going to have to include more, more to it. It's got to be more meat.
Yeah, way more content.
So again, that many appearances would make sense.
I personally was okay with like Heath Ledger with being like the Joker and everything. And even like if you want to go back further, Michael Keaton. Like Michael Keaton had like a lot of backlash before he played as Batman in the Tim Burton movie. It's got to do like more with the fact that like he's already kind of filled in like the superhero role before. Like we've seen what he can do with this superhero role. That along with the fact I think like a lot of people are expecting for a younger Batman to come into play. Not saying that Ben Affleck is old, but figure
like
someone
said,
younger.
The other role, you've only seen one cut of it.
Yes.
Go watch the director's cut, then make a decision. That's what I'm saying. That's my first point. If that's your complaint, go rewatch the director's cut. It's got Coolio in it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then on the second end of it, yes, a younger Batman, in my mind, would be the way to go. But maybe somebody knows something we don't. That's the only thing that I can say at this point.
I mean, like apparently, based on what I'm seeing here, they're gonna have like a Batman who's already well established. He's just been kind of like in the shadows, just kind of like doing his own thing in Gotham. And they're probably gonna start off with Man of Steel 2, like with him like observing everything that's happened in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And figuring out how to just figuring out like how to approach it. He's just trying to figure out like how to approach it and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that seems to be like the case. That seems to be what they're going with.
And to add to what you're saying, how do we know that if they do start it out with that particular time where he's already been established, how do you know that they won't do something comic-wise to introduce Hal a little bit before when,
Well, they've done that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They've done that before.
Yeah, I'm talking about...
If they're going to do it, they need to do it a different way.
I'm talking about just with this particular type of franchise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They've done it.
Yeah.
It's already been done.
And see, like, that kind of thing, it's just like, they don't have to explain too much in the beginning. They literally can jump into the action with this type of thing, and they could explain.
You would hope.
Yeah.
They're going to do some backtracking.
Well,
they got to.
Yeah, and it's just, and doing it like how they did Man of Steel, like, that would be perfect, where they don't have to, like, go into great detail.
See, I disagree. You don't need any of it anymore.
Really?
No, because it's Batman. I mean, who doesn't know Batman? I've said this before. Am I right? Who doesn't know Batman's backstory?
Which it kind of like pushes along like the theory that that I was having, like where it seems like it seems like they're going to have like that more well-established Batman. So you don't have to go through like the whole origin all over again because people saw it like just recently with the Nolan films.
I'm not necessarily talking about the origin. I'm talking about, think about how, like, when in Man of Steel, how all this happened in Man of Steel. There's going to be a chunk of story where, if he's doing all this, watching him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like explaining that, and they can explain that in more than one way than just a movie.
Yeah, that would be the different way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you would still reach that appearance deal, which would make sense at that point.
Yeah.
Like the different distribution means. So I say introduction on Arrow, something weird like that, something off the chain. Like something you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I know they're gonna do something different. It's just
comic book has been done over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
It's boring.
And see,
they have to reach a different means. There's a different way to do this.
Yeah.
We just have to find the best way.
And, and that's like when you told me about Flashpoint Paradox being, the comic. I was more excited about it when you had the comic. I'm like, well, I want to read this because I watched the movie and I loved it. But reading a comic and watching they're two different
but you
things.
are a different type of person.
Yeah.
The average person
You're a special breed, Quan.
watch something else.
Yeah.
Or ingest it in a different means.
Okay. I can understand that, But it's just it doesn't make it any less exciting.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a definitive Batman. I would say probably the closest, if you're counting like everything, would be Kevin Conroy. For me, he would be the definitive Batman for me.
There's no doubt. That is Batman.
Yeah.
I don't care what
But
anybody
if we're talking strictly movie Batman, just movie Batman, how would you rank them?
That's very easy. I've actually already thought about this. I thought about this last night in the shower for some weird reason. But, well, it's one of those things. I figured that it'd probably come up. I just assumed that it would happen.
A bat signal.
Okay, I'm going to go...
I feel like a bat soap.
and there's different reasons why. I'm going to go Michael Keaton, Adam West, Val Kilmer, Christian Bale, George Clooney. That's probably not most people's lists. But Michael Keaton, because he played a very good Bruce Wayne. Loved the Batman. It was a completely different type of thing. Adam West, because he was very true to the campy style. He was a detective.
Yeah.
He's still detective.
That's kind of like a big argument, like a lot of people are saying, like where there hasn't been like a definitive Batman, because like a lot of the modern day Batmen haven't really played up the whole fact that he is like the world's greatest detective.
And that's why, honestly, Val Kilmer and Christian Bale are side by side. They rank pretty much exactly the same for different reasons. I actually liked Val Kilmer's Batman.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was a different take on the Bruce Wayne angle. He kind of felt like Batman for a little bit. Nobody has really been terrible at the particular Batman. It just hasn't been Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
not like the comic book Batman.
Yeah, it's just like it's different facets of Batman that are pretty good.
George Clooney probably looked like the way that I would think Bruce Wayne would look.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I mean, but he's still closer than Christian Bale looking like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think like the problem, like, that like a lot of people have with George Clooney as Batman is almost the same thing that like people have with Ben Affleck. It's just that there's already this clout that like you are George Clooney, you are Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
How can I see you as Batman? It's rooted in people's minds.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why here's the Batman we need. I'll give your top five first.
Well, top five. I didn't even think of it like you did.
Didn't think of this in the shower, Quan? Come on.
No, I didn't. It's a toss-up between Michael Keaton and Christian Bale. And the only reason why I put Christian Bale in that category is because he's so different. Like, it's not the same thing, and that's what I liked about watching him. The only thing I couldn't stand about him was that voice. Good God. I'm just like, that is not how Batman sounds. Not doing that.
It sounded more and more like a junkyard dog as the trilogy kept going on. Started taking like speech lessons from Sylvester Stallone at that point. I am the law.
But the Batman we need right now is the one that's closest to the Justice League iteration of the Kevin Conroy Batman. Because there's that series spans pretty good bit. Batman is very serious. Batman wants to be on the team. Batman still doesn't play by the rules.
Right.
Batman does whatever Batman wants to do because he wants to do it, but he's always there when you need him.
Yeah.
He's the goddamn Batman. He does whatever he
Batman.
says.
Like, just don't worry. Batman's still alive. Like,
If Ben Affleck's going to study any template for Bruce Wayne, he should study the animated series template. Like that, I think that would be...
it's the closest one,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne will be an important part to play.
Just
Definitely.
just as like an added part, like with with Ben Affleck getting himself prepared, like to play as Batman, he does have one good advantage: the fact that he has such a close relationship with Kevin Smith, who is admittedly one of the biggest Batman fans as far as like celebrity
Yeah.
Batman fans. So I mean, I think that might work in his favor.
Entire time.
Yeah.
You know, he has been all up in him. You know, Affleck secretly called him and they're like, hey, I'm gonna be Batman.
No, it was
Batman, bitch.
something much madder than that. He got he bought a bat signal and put it over his house.
Send him an Instagram photo.
Wakes up in the morning like.